China's economy continues to struggle with persistently high unemployment rates among young people. In their desperation, many have turned to the only things that bring them some hope, visiting temples to pray and lighting incense, as well as buying lottery tickets. They hope the gods might grant them a sudden fortune. However, a recent and bizarre lottery winning incident has shed light on the truth behind China's lottery system. It revealed that it's nothing more than a scheme and deception. These individuals are coming to realize that the idea of getting rich overnight through the lottery is nothing more than an illusion portrayed by the government. Recently, the news of a Jiangxi lottery player winning a whopping 220 million yuan in the welfare lottery has been making waves in Chinese social media. Initially, this was seen as an enviable stroke of luck. However, when the details of the winning ticket were exposed, it triggered strong dissatisfaction among netizens. The reason is that the player placed a precision bet on the winning numbers and received a series of prizes of 100,000 yuan. In total, it was a staggering 220 million yuan. Not only did this trigger the prize limit, but it also emptied the prize pool. Additionally, this player became the first in Chinese lottery history to receive a prize exceeding 100 million yuan without having to pay taxes. These circumstances appearing together seem too coincidental, leading netizens to suspect that there might be some kind of behind-the-scenes manipulation involved in it.
I suggest that all citizens come forward and report this to the authorities. How is this even possible? You don't need to be an expert to see that something is seriously amiss when you can spend just 100,000 yuan on the same numbers and win over 100 million. I don't know who orchestrated this or what this money is meant for, but manipulating things like this is an insult to everyone's IQ. Is that really appropriate? Stocks have already been a sore point, seriously insulting us. And now this, it's just downright unseemly.
The details are as follows. On December 2nd in Nanchang City, Jiangxi Province, a lottery enthusiast purchased lottery tickets at a local welfare lottery center. The individual spent 100,000 yuan to buy over 50,000 tickets, all with the same set of numbers, for the popular Select 7 game in the Happy 8 lottery game. As a result, he secured the impressive prize of 220 million yuan. With a 100% success rate, it has left people exclaiming that he traveled back in time to buy those lottery tickets. The reason this lottery win has been dubbed a bizarre event by netizens is because under normal lottery rules, achieving a 100% success rate is nearly impossible. What's even more alarming is that the location where this substantial prize was won, a substation of the welfare lottery, has recently closed and stopped serving customers in the past few days. Some netizens have jokingly commented, in the past, when someone won a few tens of thousands in the lottery center would celebrate with fanfare. But now, with a 220 million yuan win, they've suddenly closed down. Could it be that they're feeling a bit guilty? To understand why this incident has been labeled as a bizarre event, it's essential to delve into the details of the lottery game. The Happy 8 game is a Chinese lottery game that features public welfare, entertainment, and fun. It is often described as having a kaleidoscope nature. It offers 10 different gameplay options from Select 10, Select 9, all the way to Select 1. Players must choose a specific number of numbers from a pool of 80, place their bets, and then wait for the results. The criteria for winning and the associated prizes vary depending on the chosen gameplay option. Taking the Select 7 gameplay option, which the winning player purchased, as an example. Here's how it works. Players need to select 7 numbers from a pool of 80, and each number costs 2 yuan. The number of bets on a single ticket cannot exceed 10,000. If the selected numbers match any 7 of the 20 winning numbers drawn in that round, it results in a win. The first prize for a single winning ticket in Select 7 is 10,000 yuan. It's important to note that the Happy 8 game imposes risk control measures to limit the maximum prize payout in each draw. If the total payout for a specific draw exceeds the predefined limit, the prize amounts for various levels are adjusted accordingly. The specific adjustment procedures are determined by the China Welfare Lottery Center based on actual circumstances and are promptly announced to the public. It has been reported that the Jiangxi lottery player selected the numbers 40, 41, 42, 44, 63, 64, and 65. Interestingly, these same numbers appeared in the winning numbers drawn for that particular round number 2023322. This indicates that the player won the first prize. In fact, the player hit the jackpot with a total of 50,159 winning tickets. The estimated prize money for this win was initially over 500 million yuan, but due to exceeding the prize limit, the prize amount was adjusted to 4,475 yuan per winning ticket, resulting in a total prize of over 220 million yuan. Furthermore, since each winning ticket fell below the taxable amount, the player did not need to pay any taxes on the entire 220 million yuan prize. Regarding this incident, reporters in China have interviewed personnel from the Jiangxi Welfare Lottery Distribution Center in hopes of obtaining a reasonable explanation, but the center's staff said, "We follow standard procedures for ticket distribution and prize redemption. There is no insider involvement in this lottery." The reason why the 220 million yuan prize is not subject to taxation is due to China's lottery tax regulations. Any lottery winnings exceeding 10,000 yuan are subject to a 20% personal income tax, while winnings below 10,000 yuan are exempt from personal income tax. The explanation provided by the Nanchang lottery winner when claiming the prize has indeed left many people bewildered. He stated that he has been buying lottery tickets for over 5 years. His family's financial situation is quite good. He described it as a habit, buying lottery tickets 3 to 4 times a week, ranging from thousands to tens of thousands of yuan each time. In the past few days, he had also bought multiple tickets with the same numbers for the Happy 8 lottery. He expressed that buying lottery tickets is purely for fun and relies on his instinct when deciding how much to buy. Many people find this explanation hard to accept. Some netizens commented, if what he said is true, buying lottery tickets 3 times a week with 5,000 yuan each time for 5 years would amount to roughly 4 million yuan spent on lottery tickets. Isn't that an excessive amount of money to spend on lottery tickets? Why not save it and invest it instead? A group of frequent lottery players online engaged in heated discussions about this matter. Many of them find the 220 million yuan lottery prize extremely suspicious. One netizen, very familiar with Chinese lottery regulations, remarked, "Someone with nothing else to do spends 100,000 yuan to buy 50,000 tickets, hits the jackpot coincidentally, and empties the prize pool." The same set of numbers, nearly 100,000 yuan spent, multiplied 50,000 times. Would a normal person really buy tickets like this? The weird aspect is that in the current economic situation, someone who can afford to spend 100,000 yuan in one go doesn't choose other investment options. He doesn't even use it for consumption, but rather spends it on lottery tickets. Moreover, the jackpot he won is tax-free, making him the first person in Chinese lottery history to win over 100 million yuan without having to pay taxes. Due to the mass wave of skepticism and questioning online regarding this event, on December 5th, employees from the Jiangxi Provincial Welfare Lottery Center issued a response. They stated, "It is not yet confirmed whether these over 50,000 tickets were purchased by the same person, but it is true that a lottery center won a prize of 220 million yuan. At present, a portion of the prize money has already been claimed by one individual, and the financial department is still compiling relevant data." However, these responses have not provided a direct answer to the doubts and questions raised by netizens. In an effort to address the suspicions, lawyer Yang Guoya from the Jiangsu Feidou Law Office sent a formal letter to the Jiangxi Provincial Civil Affairs Department, requesting a response to the questions raised by netizens regarding the lottery player winning 220 million yuan. However, as of now, it appears that the government has not provided any response to these inquiries. Popular educational blogger and teacher at the affiliated high school of Renmin University of China, Li Yongle believes that the skepticism expressed online is not merely jealousy or baseless criticism. Mr. Li pointed out that in fact, the probability of winning a prize like this is extremely low. Based on probability theory, the average odds of winning the Select 7 in Happy 8 lottery are approximately 1 in 4,000. Based on this, if someone were to purchase one ticket per day, it would take roughly 40,000 days, or about 112 years, to hit the jackpot. Similarly, the average odds of winning 5 million yuan in the next draw, Select 6 in Happy 8, are about 1 in 8,910,000, which means buying one ticket per day would require more than 24,000 years to achieve a win. Li Yongle also calculated the probabilities for the select 10 scenario and derived the winning probabilities for various situations. Using the same method, one can calculate the winning probabilities for other scenarios. When plotting a probability graph, it becomes evident that the select 4 option has the highest winning chance at about 26%. Select 1 has a 25% winning chance, which is similar to the case of Select 4. The Select 2 option has the lowest winning probability, with about 1 win in every 16 attempts. Furthermore, Mr. Lee mentioned that the Happy 8 lottery not only has high winning probabilities, but also boasts the highest average return rate. On average, for every ticket purchased at 2 yuan, you can expect to receive about 1.16 yuan back, losing 0.84 yuan. In simple terms, this 0.84 yuan is considered a contribution to China's welfare initiatives. In his summary, Mr. Lee remarked, "Looking back, I believe that the betting strategy of this player is highly unusual and risky. If someone aims to win a big prize, this is certainly not the way to go." While Happy 8 is a lottery with relatively higher winning probabilities and expected values, it offers numerous gameplay options, making the odds of hitting a major jackpot exceedingly slim. On the popular Chinese question and answer platform Zhihu, analysts who claim to have insights into the situation claim that there may be issues of behind-the-scenes manipulation behind the substantial prize. After the incident occurred, a user on the Zhihu platform asked the question, "How do you view the event where Jiangxi Happy 8 lottery player won over 200 million yuan with a 50,000-fold bet?" In response to the question, a user who appears to have insider knowledge stated, "In my practical work experience, many local policies come with subsidies and benefits, which are usually funded from lottery proceeds because welfare lotteries are directly managed by civil affairs and are easy to allocate. Additionally, welfare lotteries are like a large pool of money. When local governments have projects or need to cover losses, they often tap into the welfare lottery funds. 20 years ago, no one dared to embezzle on such a massive scale, but with the increasing circulation of information and the balancing between local authorities, if they see others taking money without consequences, they tend to do the same. This has led to embezzling welfare lottery prizes becoming quite a normal occurrence. What really concerns the government is when lottery winners actually claim their prizes. Many people, when they see such news, assume there's something shady going on and think that the money has been embezzled by the director in charge of the welfare lottery, calling for a thorough investigation of these directors. But in reality, the money has been taken by the local government. The analyst further explained that the reason for such an outrageous winning event is because the Welfare Lottery Center is a small government agency with only a few employees. They typically don't have many projects to work on, and the agency typically offers low salaries, a small group, but a high workload. If the prize money was embezzled by the local government, it would require a significant amount of effort to manipulate the winnings repeatedly, which is impractical to do so continuously. Therefore, these activities are often concentrated within a specific period. For example, in the case where they need to fill a 500 million yuan gap caused by embezzlement, it would be ideal to distribute it across various stations and have different people claim the 100 jackpot prizes. But since this small agency only has a few employees, they can't manage such a large-scale operation. Consequently, when the leadership assigns the task of balancing the 500 million yuan discrepancy, it falls on the shoulders of one employee at this small agency, and they can only manipulate the winnings from within one betting station as a part of the internal information department. In conclusion, the analyst stated, the embezzled money may have been used for local project, overspending, paying off debts and interest, or covering civil servant salaries. Regardless of the purpose, it's highly unlikely that it was manipulated and claimed by a specific individual. So the next time you see a picture of someone wearing a disguise while claiming a lottery prize, please be more understanding. The person claiming the prize is likely under pressure from their superiors, just like many of you. According to public data, it appears that China's welfare lottery industry reached a peak in development this year. Data released by China's Ministry of Finance shows that in October 2023, lottery sales amounted to 47.3 billion yuan, an increase of 17.6 billion yuan, compared to the same period last year, with a growth of about 60%. From January to October, the cumulative national lottery sales totaled about 476 billion yuan, an increase of 165 billion yuan compared to the same period last year, with a 53% growth. When looking at sales by province, it's notable that both October and year-to-date figures indicate significant growth in sales across all provinces, with many of the higher sales figures coming from more economically developed regions in the south. Some economic observers believe that the sharp increase in lottery sales this year is closely related to China's economic situation and the sudden decline in public confidence. Comments on social media indicate that due to the high unemployment rate, more and more people are unable to earn a living through conventional means, so they turn to lotteries as a way to try and win money. This is actually a worrying sign. Many people who have lost hope are now placing their hopes on gambling to solve financial problems. Moreover, the revelation of this particular event may involve behind-the-scenes manipulation that has shattered the last dream of getting rich overnight for all lottery players. Even lottery winnings can be manipulated. The hope of overcoming poverty overnight cannot come true, which has made the public disappointed. This is one of the reasons why the event continues to attract interest and discussion. Zhou Zhaocheng, a lawyer at Beijing Anjian law firm, wrote an article that there are two important reasons for continued public interest in this matter. Firstly, over the years, there have been several cases of lottery fraud and corruption within lottery regulatory agencies, leading to a decline in public trust in the government. Secondly, China's lottery system has strict oversight and supervision in the issuance and sales stages, but the process of claiming lottery prizes lacks transparency and impartial procedures. This results in an opaque claiming process, with many winners showing up wearing disguises. China has various institutional loopholes which not only erode public trust but also pose risks to the country's future development. Thanks to the current state of the economy, not only has the lottery business been booming this year, but also the temple visits. As graduation season approached this year, the topic of no education, no jobs, only incense burning briefly became a popular hashtag on Chinese social media. It was unexpected that young people educated under the CCP's atheistic teachings would become regular visitors to temples due to the economic downturn and widespread unemployment. According to some temple staff, an unusual phenomenon occurred this year, with more than half of the people booking tickets for temple scenic areas being young adults. Young people are becoming the main contributors to temple attendance. Almost all of them are praying for good job opportunities and the chance to get rich overnight. Nanjing securities analyst Yang Yan commented on this by saying, faced with pressures related to education, employment, marriage, and interpersonal relationships, an increasing number of young people are turning to traditional culture as a means to relieve stress through prayers and offerings to deities. Due to the increasing economic uncertainty, disillusioned young people are eager to rely on prayers and gambling. The fundamental reason for these phenomena is the economic downturn in China. Indeed, it's not just college students seeking solace in metaphysical beliefs. Local governments in Jiangxi are undoubtedly brainstorming ways to turn the 220 million winning event into an unquestionable metaphysical phenomenon to convince citizens who have lost faith in the government.